I found the record button. Okay.
Okay, this is the account we are going to use the logic app. So someone comment on the on my wall, and I should able to get the notification saying somebody's commented on the app. All the resource. Okay, what was my last? I think it's still creating the logic app. So the best part is logic app. You don't need to write any code. So you just need to use the existing API connectors which is available in the Azure, and based on that you can connect to the apps. So the many people are using the Salesforce connectors, which is they run the Salesforce and on premise, and they try to connect from the Azure using the Logic app. Whenever there is event is happened in the Salesforce, either the onboard is completed or any new requirement comes, that's how you can subscribe using this Logic app. It instantly notifies the clients. How much time it required? Meantime, let me log into other Facebook account so we can comment on this post from the other account. So password is also hitting there. Thank God that's not my password. Okay, no problem. Remote guys, if anyone tries, you can't log in, man. It was my wrong password. I don't know how much time is required. Something goes wrong. I think it got some problem. Let's go ahead and create one more. We can't switch this. No subscriptions. I think it went with my customer. Very clear. I don't know why it is not showing here. What happened to this? I think so. Let's move. Web apps. Okay, it's running. It's running. Okay, we will get back on the logic app before we close the session. Okay, let's move to the slides. Probably we can have some quick previous. There might be some problem with the Azure services. We created twice, but it's not appearing in the account. Maybe let it take some time. Probably we will get back. So platform as a service. Yesterday we saw a couple of web deployments, right? Cloud service. So we have deployed staging and production with multiple web roles. So that is comes in the platform as a service. For compute related web role and worker role, web role is just inbuilt IaaS, which can you can host the web applications. It automatically configures everything for you. Worker role is some background jobs. It does batch jobs and all. With web jobs, this worker role is getting down low priority, and people are switching to web jobs. So web role it's not really popular these days. So data model related. SQL Azure, we just saw the SQL, we created a SQL server. So relational database as a service. This is on platform, data platform. You don't need to pay really for the SQL server boxes and everything. You pay just how many databases you created. So just now we saw the demo uh, for the web app. So let's go ahead and create. Let's go ahead and do the cloud service. I think many of you might already saw this. So we need to convert the web app to the cloud service, which is automatically adds one more project for the solution. So that is the actually cloud project. You can configure your number of instances and other configuration. HTTPS and SSL information. I was wondering why it does not come up. Yep, yep. Let's look at to this. Probably you can look into this. Okay, okay. Facebook wall post related. This is the logic app I was telling to you guys. So this is the designer. You can design your logic here and submit it. It automatically starts hacking. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some Facebook related stuff. Facebook, when there is a new post on my timeline. Let's go ahead. So, so I have already logged in here. That's the reason it automatically taken. But if you don't connect on the browser, it asks you to connect, and it shows the Facebook login screen on fly, and you have to fill in. Facebook asks for the permissions and all. Let's go ahead, add an action. What I want to do, email. So SendGrid is the SMTP server in the cloud where you can send emails using that account. So I have already set up one account for me. I will show you how to create it. I'm saying send it from my email. So I'm choosing the content, what content needs to send, post last name, first name, message, text, and go ahead and send it to me again. Okay, here subject line, we can say post item about, what is about. This is the body, first name. I think what is the first one which is in, okay, sorry for this. I'm saying send this email address, and this is the to address. This is the subject, and this is the body of that email. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. So save logic app is completed. Let's go ahead. If I say, okay, I need to, someone else needs to comment on it, right? Let me go ahead and type this guy. Mm, this is the type. So I go ahead and type something, app demo. Let's post it. So just now I wrote some message on this guy wall. We'll look at the emails. See, Ramesh Bola on Facebook, Ramesh Bola posted on your timeline and saying this is the app demo. So most of the MNC companies or service provider companies, like Airtel or whatever it is, most of the public interacted MNCs. So they engage the social network like this. Whenever you post some comment saying this, there is a service I got bad experience, they will call you back. That's how they engage their customers these days. So this is just a simple with the Facebook, but you can go ahead and take advantage on some of the popular SaaS applications like Salesforce. You can connect from Azure to your on-premise Salesforce system. You can write your own logic using this designer, whether conditional email. Suppose if your boss is post something, you can completely control the workflow. And this is the business app. It's not only I mean, I chosen SendGrid to email me. I can go ahead and choose saying, okay, let's go to the app now. Facebook wall post. So on the designer, you can choose whatever the action you want to do it. Select the filter. I mean, it might be the notification or it might be the whatever the action. Here I chosen this, right? Let's go ahead and delete this. Add an action. So when someone posts, I would just want to do some action. That action could be anything like here. You can call some REST API, you can create a file in the blog, or probably you can create a file in the Dropbox with that comment. So whichever the action you feel it's required, and you can go ahead and do it. Yeah, actually the API connector does the trigger, right? And the action you are going to give the action, which action you. Yes. So you can go ahead and write some Office 365 codes, like it will shoot a mail. For instance, if your boss write something on the post and you need to share to all the employees. I mean, anything is possible with this scenario. Um, okay, it looks like it's converted my web app to the cloud service. I'm going ahead and publish it. Create a new one. Axiom demo. So this station and create it. It creates the service fast. Go ahead and choose production. Everything is fine. Sending the diagnostics is not required. Okay, let's go ahead and publish it. I think this one we did demonstrate it in the first session, so this one is not really important. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to slides. So the last one is infrastructure as a service, where you can create your own virtual network, and if you have any firewall mechanism, you can take it to the cloud and install it and configure according to your security guidelines. And I mean, this is not mandatory. If your requirement is like that, you can take advantage on this. And virtual machines. Virtual machines is part of infrastructure as a service. Microsoft starts with Windows virtual machines. Now it support Ubuntu, Linux, Oracle, and all the popular sites. I mean, operating systems like Unix, Linux, Oracle, WebLogic support, and you can take advantage on this. So how can you create a virtual machine actually from here? Okay, let's switch. Unable to update the connection string. Sorry, could not get message. Okay, this is fine. Publish. Storage account, session storage resources. It should create actually. So from the portal, you can, it's very simple. It's like one click away, one click away. You can create virtual machines in the cloud. So if you look at the virtual machine from the gallery, let's look at the gallery, what are all available. So from the Microsoft stack, you can choose Windows Server and SQL Server. So if you feel I don't want to use the SQL Azure, you can go ahead and create the SQL Server box there, and you can configure your DBs, and you can have your own network setup. Yes, 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 yes. So everything you need to maintain it. You can take Ubuntu, Oracle. If in case you prepared your own virtual hard disk, VH disk with your all the pre-installed softwares, you can upload to here. Currently, I don't upload anything. Probably if you upload here, you can spin your own VM with your desired VHD. So you don't necessarily require the Windows or Oracle or Unix Linux. If you have pre-configured your required VHD, you can upload here and you can spin up the VM. You don't need to install again and again anything. Okay, I already created one virtual machine. Let me RDP to it. Connect. Okay. Let me see what's happening. Okay. Connect. So how you are going to access it from outside? I will present you how can you configure the application. So first of all, we need to publish it from here. Let's go ahead and publish. This time I'm not publishing to the web deploy. I'm going to take the, I need to publish to one folder. The same folder we need to copy to the virtual machine and create the application with that. Then only start works. Okay. Desktop publish. Okay, let's publish it in release mode. Publish. So the application publish course is ready with us. So this is the folder I'm going to copy to the virtual machine. Not required. So here I have already installed the IIS components and hostable components, and this is your own, yeah, this is your own virtual machine. So you need to install what all the required in order to host this application. I have already installed the IIS components here. minimize admin mode. We need to copy this to www root. Most of you guys aware www root. So this is the folder where the IAS having the best permissions is required. Add application. Say I say demo. I say VM demo, and I'm going to select physical path for this application. Inet pub www root pub. Okay, go and okay. So on the VM itself, I'm trying to run the application. Once it's able to run, so we will try to access from the external, not from the VM. I think many of you guys might be aware this. How do we publish the app to iOS? So this is our site. It's running locally on that box. So still we don't allow to access from outside. So let me go ahead and create a one student record here. So I think this is something which is not supported. 2016 04. So this guy is here, right? Let's go ahead and stop. We don't require any more VM access. Let's go to portal. So this is the VM. I just hosted the application, which is running locally, perfect, fine. So in order to access from outside, we need to add HTTP port. I mean, we need to enable HTTP port for this particular endpoint. I'm going ahead and HTTP. So once we enable the HTTP port for that VM, and it is able to start listening the HTTP request from outside. We can go to cloud service, dashboard. So this is the URL for the cloud service which attached the VM, and that VM we have hosted the application. Let's go to this URL. Yeah, it is able to listen the request. What's the application name? Remember? VM demo. Okay. So this is how you can access the app of the VM. So if you come across the situation like we have to install on the virtual machine, so you can take your application there and configure IIS, allow the ports. Probably you can search this guy. Yes, you can use everything is either you can go with the existing standard images like Oracle DB2 or the Windows. If in case you already configured everything in your network and you just want the same mission, the same pre-configuration, so you can do the VHD that and upload the VHD while spinning up the virtual machine. You can choose that image. So what all, even including the desktop data, you will see the same. So what else we have from presentation? Mm. So this is how you can deploy the application into the software as a service or platform as a service or infrastructure as a service. The best way, you don't need to choose. It's better to go with software as a service model where you don't require to maintain all these things. Okay, this is the virtual machine it supports. Just done demo. So when minutes. So this is the capability screen. So where web apps is lags, where web apps you can't get such feature like this one. You can't do the remote desktop to the web app where the web app is published. So the web apps is kind of service. You will not allow to access any server or anything resource like that. And elevated permissions and startup tasks, these are all not supports by web apps. But when you choose the web roles, it's like platform as a service, cloud service. You can have startup tasks with elevated permissions. Suppose you need to create a directory on fly that required elevated permission admin rights. If you go with the web roles, where you can write role startup events and with elevated permissions, you can do all the required jobs. You can run exe files, you can run batch files, some of the command line executions also you can do if you go with the web role or virtual machine. But with the web apps, you, that is not allowed. So that is kind of service. So separation of responsibilities. So many people say, okay, there's the big confusion, right? What you are going to manage, what Azure going to manage. And there is the very clear boundaries that what it allows and what it not allows. Let's go to on-premise model. So you have to manage everything, application data, runtime, middle tier, or not everything, including there is the power supply properly there or not, everything you need to manage it. When you choose the infrastructure as a service, virtualization, server, storage, networking related jobs, you don't need to take care while if you go with infrastructure as a service. Still, you need to manage what operating system you are going to use, the middleware, data and application configurations, everything you need to, just like just now we did, right? We copied the data and we configure the application, we allowed the ports. So this is little overhead if you choose the infrastructure as a service. The cloud service, platform as a service, so even you don't need to maintain the runtime, operating system, all those taken care by Azure. They have very smooth updates roll up on the operating system. So at any point of time, your customer will not feel, your customer will never feel like, there is the side down because there is no actual side down. Yes. No, that's going to come here, SaaS model. Cloud service is a platform as a service. Cloud service is a platform as a service. The best part always is go with the SaaS model, multi-tenant application where you don't need to maintain anything. You are just responsible for what package you send to the SaaS model. Web app, for instance, WordPress, Office 365. Lot can happen Office 365, but your service and always up and running. Still, there might be something goes wrong in other data center, and in the backend there might be the problem, but you will not feel. The reason is there is the failover mechanism, everything. So these are all shared responsibilities. So which way you choose, you need to keep what you need to do, what Azure going to manage for you. So make sure you are not engaging in Azure activities, or don't expect that Azure is maintains everything. That's our cloud. Why I need to go ahead and write? Uh, okay. Yes, yes. I mean that is the big discussion. That's always a big debate, right? Which one you need to go with? You need to choose the project characteristics and which language you choosing, what are the services you choosing, whether those are available in Azure or AWS, uh, what could be the future roadmaps for these cloud services, and what are the upcoming roles they are doing. So you can go all those things and come to the conclusion like which one is best suits for you. But Azure supports all the ways, right? It supports infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. Even though something, if you don't feel that's not available, you can go ahead and create yourself and use it. From on-premise, you can take your licenses and you can create your SQL Server boxes over there if you have licenses, on-premise licenses. Those are all allowed and it's very less expensive when compared to your on-premise model or any private data center model. A lot of things is not comes like automated way. You have to manage. If you go with on-premise model, so make sure you're not engaging the this infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. This completely supports end-to-end. Yeah, these are the basic application building blocks from the Azure. These are all and very less latency. Cloud service, we saw caching. Okay, we have Redis cache, which is always it's like 99.95% up and running. Um, Key value pairs it stores in memory data. It always like best performance when you have the expensive data to generate. For instance, the list of employees. Every time you don't need to query it to the DB. Once in a day you can query it and cache it, and the rest of the day you can access it in a very faster way. Messaging. How many of you know loosely coupled applications or tightly coupled applications? Yeah, something like uh, all the social sites, no, e-commerce sites. So when you order something, there should be a mechanism it has to follow, right? And it can't reply you saying this, okay, your order is done. It can't say like, your order is delivered. There is the process is take time in between. Your system should keep on working. But if there is any failure happens in a tightly coupled way, and if everything goes wrong, everything can go wrong. If DB fails, if everything in one box, let's assume DB, app server, everything in one virtual machine. If there is any problem with virtual machine, you are totally like services goes down. But if you go with the loosely coupled system where the web tier, data tier, and these both is gets communicated using the messaging. For instance, service bus queues. Web tier just place a one message in the service bus. The data tier or the backend process, just like web jobs or worker roles, it reads the message from the service bus and update accordingly, either DB or the file system or whatever it is. If in case any failure happens in the backend system, still your web tier can take the orders and place the message queues when the queues gets processed and will notify to the customers. So this is the loosely coupled pattern where you can take using the Azure service bus queues or storage queues. If in case the lightweight data you are sending, you can go with the service bus queues. If in case you're sending really big data in terms of the megabytes, you can go with the storage queues, where you can place like one video. Whenever your backend is ready, it reads from the queue and it processes the video. Or if in case photos, you place it and it will process and converts whatever format you require. So this is a loosely coupled way. This is always the best when you have the huge system, you need to decouple it. If any one component is down, and the end user will not feel that, and when you bring it up by correcting the system, it starts processing the queues, and when the queues gets processed, then your client gets notified. But if you don't do in a loosely coupled way, this is the problem. And is there any problem with one component, and the rest of all the components gets affected, and you have to take the site down. Using the messaging, you can take that identity. Azure Active Directory supports single sign-on mechanism, identity as a service. This works much easier way for any app. Single sign-on, how many of you know single sign-on? Okay, that's good. Media, CDN, I think this is also comes like a performance kind of thing. So when you choose with CDN nodes, our data is copying to the CDN nodes across the globe. When your client hits the URL, it picks the very near CDN. All the static files we can use the CDN, and we don't need to depend. Content delivery network. So we can see thousands of CDN nodes across the globe. That's all the best practice. Yes. Which one? Some people are missed the conference because. No problem. What's the problem? If they know, I am very happy. If they don't know, they can ask. Okay. Okay, no problem. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. CDN and networking, we already discussed about the virtual networks. So these are all comes into the non-functional requirement. You can go and choose when you feel it's required in terms of the performance or identity. You can move to the centralized identity. Storage, blob storage, table storage. Just now we saw the SQL Azure. Let me go to blob storage. Probably you will be seeing much better. Yes, you can store the files, the non-relational data. You can store it in this. So if you have a SQL server needs to support, you have these scenarios. You can go with on-premise model where you need to manage everything. If you go with SQL Server Azure virtual machine, so just now we saw that SQL Server image you can choose in the cloud, The moment you choose and you create the VM, it inbuild a SQL Server instance, and you can go ahead and create your DB. You don't need to configure the server because you're choosing SQL Server image. And this is the OLTP data warehouse related, and this is also supports in the cloud. The last one is completely cloud, the data warehouse in the cloud, and the database in SQL Azure. So you don't need to maintain anything. The Azure manages everything. You're just responsible for the data, what you're keeping, and the databases you are creating. So let's take a simple demo on the cloud storage. So we saw all these three, right? SaaS model, infrastructure as a service model, and platform as a service model. So here is the storage. You can, it's very easy actually, storage. You can go ahead and create a storage, create demo store. Okay, demo store action on choosing Southeast Asia. Okay, I mean, these are all advantages. Based on your requirement, you can go with geo redundant or local redundant. What it does, your data gets replicated another 3 data centers just for keeping. If any disaster happens to your primary data center, still you can get the data. You can recover the data from other data centers. That's how it's redundant, geo redundant. Let's go ahead and create one storage. Probably we can go with existing storage account. This is the keys. This is the account. Again, whenever I turn the wheel on, again, it takes the VH2 from here and spin it up. That's how you will not lose any data even if you shut down it and you're not going to pay anything. So I can go ahead and create one blob container. Yes, yes. I mean, those are all automated services from Microsoft, right? But make sure we need to give the storage account. Behind the scene, it automatically copies the data here whenever it's required. And again, it accesses the data whenever it's required from here. Suppose I just start the VM. Yes, yes. You have to give it. That is reason is if anything happens to your VM, the same VM from the portal, it picks the VHD from here and creates. I'm going to create one storage container here. So this is the account, and these are all blob containers. And the blob container, you can can directly upload any content. For instance, let's go ahead and it automatically uploads. And if you look at the permissions, security permissions for this blob storage, currently it is of no anonymous access. If you say allow anonymous access, you can go ahead and copy this URL to the mail and you can share with the other guy where they can hit from the browser. The file is automatically gets downloaded. Either you can make it a open access, public blob. You can say this is the private blob, and whoever having the account name and the access key from the portal, they can access it. I think we have done for the day. How much is there? Today, I think we save half an hour. Last session it was 2 hours. Srini sir, I think this is for you, sir.
I have no questions. Not for the part two.
I don't know who are all are listening. About yes, Azure having the certification program for cloud. So the intermediate. Yes, first of all, you need to do two certifications. One is the language related. I mean, there is some basic certifications like which makes you aware about what's the Microsoft technology stack and languages it supports. After that, you can choose some either web related or the data related certifications. So the third one you can choose either cloud or on-premise. No. Well, I mean, there there is the flow, right? You can't like directly say, okay, I'm expert. Rest of all, I just want to engage the cloud. They don't encourage that.
Amazon has the reason Amazon certificate is quite high, right? So Microsoft this is odd. Because a lot of developers get the few developers will get an extra one. Very few developers will get Amazon doesn't have it as a business. Microsoft on the part in Java, and they put all business, right? Just like
Well, I mean,
just like Medium as trading as a business.
see, you can see Azure certifications related. This is all very latest, so you can do it.
That's Ubuntu. You can take a Ubuntu.
Yeah, I mean, there 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 are the different ways you do the certification. Uh, I mean, I have done very first time in the 2012. After that, I realized that I don't know how it's going to be used, recognized by the people.
Okay, so I will tell you why they don't certificate, right? They go to let's say Hindustan or they go to a company like Hindustan Airlines, right? And they say we have Azure and the first question they will ask is, hey, do you have people who can use who can come and deploy Azure and help to configure? Okay, we have people. What is the proof? Immediately then they will show certificate. See this many people are certified. If you look at Cisco certificate,
Since sir, actually I
if
planned.
you go to every gully, you will have someone Cisco network certified right? That's why Cisco has become popular, not because of the how good is the router, right? It's popular because a lot of people, anyone who you call and say, can you configure a Cisco router? Any network guy will know how to configure Cisco router, right? So whether it's